Welcome to another edition of the Willy Bragg Show. I hope everybody's doing well. Tonight we have a guest, and some of y'all may be familiar with this guest. So we will. I guess the best way to introduce this person is to introduce this person. All right.
Check 1 2. Hello, am I getting through to Earth?
Yes, you are. You're here.
Oh, hey, Willy.
Hey, welcome.
Thank you. My name is Chuck. Well, I mean, that's my Earth name. You couldn't pronounce the real one, but I'm happy to be on this program.
I'm sorry. Go ahead. Sorry.
I'm very happy to be on this program.
I'm happy to have you here. And don't worry about names getting, unpronounceable names. We have plenty of names on Earth in these locations called other nations that they're kind of hard to pronounce at times. It's all a matter of what you're used to. So I'd be glad to call you Chuck. We know plenty of Chucks here on planet Earth.
Yeah, well, that suits me just fine. I got my whole business based around, going by Chuck. I know that your planet isn't yet a part of the International Galactic Merchants Guild, but I'm hoping that it'll be soon. Because right now, I make my living delivering pizzas from your planet. Did you know, Willy, that they don't have pizza anywhere else in the galaxy?
And that's a shame. Because I love me some pizza.
Yeah, well, at least they didn't until I started exporting it from your planet. And so that's the loophole I have with the Intergalactic Merchants Guild, is they let me purchase pizzas from your planet and I can deliver them to other places in the galaxy. It's a whole business. I got a fleet of ships now, where I originally started with just one. So it's a great story about, about merchants and stuff.
Is there any particular favorite pizzas that the people in other worlds or beings in other worlds have?
You mean like from the different parts of your planet? Yeah, crazy enough. I don't know why the last couple of weeks I've been getting a lot of requests for this place called Aurelio's in Chicago, which is, I guess that's the middle, like somewhere in the middle of your planet.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know, it might have something to do with, I saw on your news broadcast that you guys just got a space or no, a regular pope, not a space pope. You got a regular pope who just got who was from that area. So it's kind of weird. Like, is pizza normally related with popes on your planet?
Well, I mean, considering that most popes, majority of the popes until recently, have had have come from Italy itself, and that's where the idea of the pizza originated. And
Oh,
so
I see.
this new pope is from Chicago, where there is a particular type of pizza called Chicago pizza, which I understand people in Chicago are very passionate about.
Yeah, I actually I learned a lot about pizza delivering it, because I would get requests. I think the first one, there was this one guy who ordered like 10 pizzas from some place called Lou Malnati's, which also was in Chicago. And I was like, oh wow. I said, these things weigh a ton. I said, are all the pizzas like this? They said no. They said no, we got thinner ones too. And then they showed me those ones that they cut into squares. I was like, oh, like what, for parties, I guess? Like, you having a party and you don't have a whole lot of money for like a whole bunch of whole pizzas. You just cut them into little squares and then everybody can have a bit.
Yeah, I've had some of those types of pizzas before, where they're cut in squares, and then there's the ones that are the traditional ones. They're cut in pie form, in kind of triangle forms. So I mean, and I know that the city of Chicago culturally rivals New York when it comes to pizzas, because both people who are proponents of Chicago pizza and New York pizza are very territorial about their pizzas.
Yeah, I did get, like, it was like the first decade that I started exporting pizzas from your planet. There was a lot of requests for from New York pizza, and it's like they had one pizza, but it was cut into, like, I don't know, six wedges, and I was like, wow, it's like, who's got a mouth that big?
Well, so there's various ways to eat pizzas. You pick it up and you can just kind of you work at it this way, or you can actually eat pizza with a fork and knife, which I've done both.
Using tools. Yeah, I suppose you could use tools.
Yeah, and it works just as well. It just depends on the person, their preference, and the setting, the occasions. So but when they use these tools, it's most difficult when you use plastic tools.
Yeah, I know. I noticed that when I try to create tools like to fix my ship, that the plastic ones tend to wear out the fastest.
Yeah, I'm sure that there are probably specific tools that plastic may work, but as I said, I'm sure on your ship, and it's been my experience with pizza that using these plastic tools is not exactly the best way. Sometimes working it with your hands might be a better alternative. So it all depends on the perspective and what occasion and individual preference in that regard.
Oh, hey, I see you got a chat room over there.
We have
I didn't realize my screen. I got a dashboard on my ship, and it just told me that a whole bunch of people are watching this program and talking in a what looks like a chat line.
Yes, we have these things called chat lines, and so like for example, we have this person here, good friend of mine named Warren. He goes by Extra Bulla online. He has a good show. If you ever get a chance to watch, the shows like The Secret Show, Extra Bulla Live, and Morning Extra, for example, Warren provides great material, good humor, and great perspectives on important matters here on Earth, and does it with comedy. So because what happens around here on this earth called politics can be very grim and depressing at times. So it's always good to put an upbeat message on things that may not be so upbeat. So his name is Warren. We have CBC Voter here, and he's a regular on my program. And we had Daniel Berry Sports Highlights, who's always greeting us, and we're glad to see Daniel Berry Sports Highlights here. Max Sarjay is here. Great seeing Max here. How are you doing, Max? And actually, he says, oh, wait a minute. Okay, we have PHX Cisco here. Finally made it for an episode. We're glad to see you here. Welcome back. And we have somebody here by the name of Kameshwari Kate. And here she is. Hey, Chuckles. There are around 10,000 people watching right now. Five of us are regulars, and the remainder are.
Hello, Kate. Yes. Thank you for reminding me about the feds. I know they try to they very often try to shut down my transmissions, and usually I have to switch between satellites. Like just today, I was trying to get a good connection for Willy, and the Starlinks kept booting me off. I actually had to piggyback my signal off of one of the Russian spy satellites that's in orbit. I was probably not supposed to tell you about that.
Well, I mean, this organization called the CIA, the feds, they know a lot of things. They keep tabs on everyone pretty much on this planet. It seems like. So I got to the point that I have nothing to hide, but if they want to get at me, I mean, you have a better chance because you're out there. You can always go to outer space, but I'm trapped here on this planet. They're going to get me.
Yeah, I think you guys have a pretty good chance of getting out of this mess. Eventually you're gonna hit the peak level of the amount of Nazis that your planet is able to hold on to before you get an uprising. I hope it works out for you guys though, because it's gonna be crazy when all of that stuff starts going down. But did you? I just realized, Willy, the reason why I think I keep getting kicked off the Starlink satellites is because my ship is somewhat in the same kind of orbit, and occasionally I run into them.
Oh,
like that one.
Yeah. Be careful. With those satellites out there.
Yeah, sometimes they hit the space bumper and they're not as bad. Like that one.
Yeah, I think we started setting satellites in the 1950s and 60s, both the United States and this country called the Soviet Union, which renamed themselves Russia Today. And sadly to say, they were both at one time mortal enemies of each other, and then they became semi-friendly, and now they're enemies again.
Oh, hey, can I share something with you?
You sure can.
Because I think your audience might find this interesting. Let's see if I can share the. Oh, I gotta share the. I want to share a window. I don't know if it'll let me do it. Let me see. Here we go. Okay. All right.
Oh,
let me see. Is that visible? Can you see that?
It's visible now.
Yeah. That is every Starlink satellite that is in orbit right now.
That's amazing.
It's crazy, is
that's
what it is. It's a lot of satellites.
Yeah.
And that's like what, 5,600 of those things. And you're aware that, I mean, there's other satellites in orbit too. Plus, there's a ton of space junk out here. I mean, if you saw it, you'd go, how does anybody even navigate out of your planet without running into some of this stuff?
Oh, what kinds of things do you run across that's kind of considered debris from this planet that's out of space where the satellites are at?
Well, I mean, Elmo, he launches up those rockets and then they deploy, a couple dozen satellites every time. But a lot of times those rockets leave parts of the rockets behind. And so every one of those is floating around in there. You got a ton of TV satellites that are broadcasting. I think there's other companies that also do your what do you call it, the interweb, the internet?
Yes.
Thing? And so people are using that. Like I said, there's the Russian spy satellites, and occasionally there's other stuff that's up here that you guys are probably not even aware of. You guys heard of the Black Knight satellite?
I can't say I have.
This thing has been orbiting your planet, some say for about 13,000 years. I think Earth people have only been aware of it since maybe the late 1800s, according to your years. Some dude named Tesla had picked up radio transmissions, and I think he sent some back. But what happens is this thing, it's just been in orbit, and a lot of your governments lie to the people and tell them it's just another piece of space junk. But the truth is, it's been collecting data for thousands of years, and the intergalactic community actually uses it as a transmission hub in order to get information back and forth from this sector of the galaxy. And that's actually how I originally found transmissions from your planet, because your planet started sending signals out into space for something you guys call television. Was it maybe 100 and something years ago?
I guess television.
And
came out in the 20s, pretty much.
Yeah, so that was pretty entertaining. And we were watching a lot of those shows for a while, and then some people started coming back and forth just to see what the heck was going on with the people living on your planet.
Sad to say that this thing called television went downhill in the last, probably 30 some years.
Yeah, I noticed you guys were messing around with digital signals, which some of those still make it up to the Black Knight transmitter, and then something called cable television was a weird thing. We had to send somebody to actually hide a transmitter on one of your mobile communication towers so they could relay those programs when they stopped sending them over your regular airwaves. But then when you guys started streaming all that stuff, it's like, we got all that information back again.
Oh, yeah. I remember I have a personal story about cable. I did not know what was going on. I was a kid, and I live in a place called North Carolina. And I found a TV station from Atlanta, Georgia, and I knew that was quite a distance away. And then my parents told me we now have cable. So, and they explained to me how it works, and I was like, "Oh, neat." And then all next several years started to have multiple channels from several thousand miles away, and sometimes from other countries. So cable was kind of a interesting thing that came out when I first started having it on the TV in the late 70s. Growing up when I was a young kid.
Let's see.
But
yeah, I think Kate is wondering if all of those little red dots were for real on that display. Yeah, those are all real satellites that Elmo launched up into orbit. And so, if you got their service for internet, I guess you got a pretty good service. You definitely got coverage.
Yeah.
But they're blocking out everything. It's like, you want to get anything into orbit, you're probably going to take out half a dozen of his satellites while you're doing it.
That's amazing. Right above me would be satellites, multiple satellites above pretty much everyone on Earth. Amazing concept, when you think about it.
Yeah, for sure.
From somebody who lives on Earth perspective, because we have just barely touched the surface of what things are like from outer space and all. So, and we're glad to have you here to share your perspective on our galaxy and multiple galaxies here in our universe.
Yeah, well, I'm happy to be here. I'm a little wiped out from my last travels. I just finished a delivery about 3 parsecs away, and I'm a little parched. So if you give me a second, I'm gonna take a drink from my beverage.
Oh, okay.
Oh, that's better.
Yeah, what kind of beverage do you drink?
Oh, actually, it was pretty cool. You guys have amazing beverages on your planet too, and I mean, the intergalactic community has these ultra soda machines, and they make just about anything, including, I think, one thing your planet used to call Jolt Cola. But there's this thing I found. It's like the color of my eyes, and it's called Green River. Have you ever had this stuff?
I can't say I've had Green River as a brand, but I've had beverages that were green before, like Mountain Dew.
Yeah, I think I've had Mountain Dew. But Green River, I don't think it's actually made from a Green River. I think that's just the name of the drink. But because I've tested water samples in your rivers, and oh my, you don't want to drink that.
No, it's not much. You just want to drink from a river or anything anymore. Hardly.
No, that's dangerous. I would do a public service announcement on that. Don't drink from your rivers. You don't know what's in there. Oh, speaking of public service announcements, Willie, is it okay if I do a couple public service announcements for the people of the planet Earth?
I would be honored if you would do it.
Oh, thank you. Okay. Attention, people of Earth. This is a public service announcement from the intergalactic community. Please stop shooting at the glowing orbs. Please. please stop shooting at the glowing orbs. The people who own those orbs are starting to get pissed, and you don't want to get on their bedside. I'm not allowed to tell you anymore. So, once again, please stop shooting at the glowing orbs. Thank you. This has been a public service announcement. Okay, I got that off my chest. Hopefully that'll go in good with the bigwigs who let me broadcast, be a guest on your program today. Because normally they only authorize me to do my own show, but they said in the spirit of goodwill with your planet, and in the hopes that one day your planet will join the Intergalactic Merchants Guild, they said, yeah, that's fine. Of course, I'm probably not supposed to spill the beans on everything, though.
Well, I think you probably can discern well enough and make proper judgments. So, you go what you feel. You go what you feel is right.
I mean, we know that there's a lot of people on your planet who like to, make money. In our case, we use intergalactic credits. But I know you guys have all kinds of different currencies on your planet currently. But once you guys join the Merchants Guild, it's all intergalactic credits, and then you get access to a wide variety of other merchants selling from other planets, and then there's all kinds of delivery services that exist. I focus mine on pizzas, and mostly I'm an export business, but occasionally I will take a job to make a few extra credits, to pick up from one place and give something to someone else. Sometimes like when those Shamrock Shakes come back to that one restaurant on your planet, sometimes we get a request to pick those up.
I remember those Shamrock Shakes when I was growing up. They were delicious, but it was gross when I had to go and discharge myself.
Yeah, you're not supposed to look down there.
I mean, you're not supposed to, but people, they look at it and they're, in its regular form, it's disgusting, but it was more disgusting than usual after I have a Shamrock Shake. So, it's just, you have to be careful. It's been, 40 years since I had one. I almost forgot about
that's a long time.
I'm kind of an older person.
Yeah, I've been monitoring your planet for about 100 years now. It feels like 200 sometimes. But yeah, I mean, people talk about Roswell and all that stuff, and I said, yeah, we've been watching your planet since before then. I think the Pope, that new Pope, probably knows, because one of our ships actually crash landed at the Vatican. Was it back in the 1930s? I think it was. It wasn't me, but I knew the guy. And I was like, oh man, it's like that's the worst place for you to crash land, is like Super Religionville on planet Earth. It's like those guys, I mean,
yeah, that Pope wasn't so
I
good.
Don't yeah. Well, I don't know what the plan was, back then, but they sure did they did a number on the people on the planet, because they were very secretive about that one. They didn't want anybody to know that happened. And it's funny because one of my buddies ended up joining the Vatican over there, but we have what we call psychic projection. So it's like what we can make you see, basically whatever we want you to think we look like. That's why I prefer to go with the classic space pilot helmet look, because I mean, my normal gray face, it's not exactly camera worthy in my mind. I kind of like being a little more mysterious and and it's kind of like streamlined with the helmet, which is always, a cool feature.
Oh, yeah, I remember seeing a space alien with a helmet. It was like a Roman helmet when I was growing up on this thing called cartoons, and he called himself Marvin the Martian. I don't know if you ever heard of him.
Oh yeah. Oh, those Bugs Bunny cartoons.
Yeah.
Was it Daffy Duck? Yeah, we enjoyed watching those all the time. We were like Roman helmets. I said for a guy from Mars, I thought that was hilarious because most of the Martians wouldn't be caught dead wearing a Roman helmet like that with the brush thing on the top there. I mean, most of them were honestly a lot of them were, kind of fashion snobs, but I'd say the closest thing that they would wear as far as hats go, not really helmets, would be like maybe a Stetson,
Oh, okay.
like on your planet, like a cowboy hat.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Stetsons. Yes, yeah, I'm familiar. I'm well familiar. I don't wear one. Never worn one, but I known people who wear those Stetsons quite a bit.
Yeah, well, and I guess they're helpful, like if you're trying to shield yourself from like a star, like your sun or something. Those are pretty good to have.
Well, hats are pretty good in that regard. Most hats, I mean, it does protect you from rain. It protects you from an aggressive sunny day where the heat permeates on the planet and it makes people perspire, that sort of thing. It can be helpful. So
Oh,
and there are various articles of clothing that will also be helpful from the occasional aggressiveness of our environment in our ecosystem here.
yeah, I highly recommend pants. I'm a big fan of wearing pants.
Yeah, I wear pants. I wear pants for the most part. And when I don't, I wear shorts. And those are the two article of clothing that I wear underneath. Um, and as I said, and one of the beautiful things about articles of clothing is that you can choose any style you want. Because there are many different perspectives of what you can wear and the vibe you want to give to people when you wear it. Some people are more fascinated
Oh,
by that concept than others, but
yeah. Oh, I see Extra Bullet says he wears He-Man Fundaroos.
there you go. Well, what I will wear is what you would call, well, you got slacks, jeans, trousers, pants are pretty much the same thing, and underneath there I wear boxer shorts, or what people will call underwear, and that's kind of an extra protection. And yeah, as far as shirts are concerned, some people wear t-shirts, some people just wear shirts, various shirts, and there's some people who walk around not wearing a shirt that should be wearing a damn shirt. So, um, which is why I wear a shirt at all times. But it. Yeah, I just, I don't know. What's your thoughts on that?
Well, I mean, normally when I'm, just floating back and forth between the ship and the places I got to pick up pizzas, it's I got my streamlined pilot suit. It's kind of a onesie. It's black. It says Chuck's Intergalactic on it. It's pretty cool. I try to keep it simple when I'm traveling. Otherwise, a t-shirt and any kind of pants is usually the way to go.
There's a guy here named Max Sarjay who has a comment about something I never worn, but I will share it. Willy Bragg was wearing a thong, and it was pretty sexy. I never wore a thong, but if I did, I would get arrested for crimes against humanity. I just need to lay that out. So I'm doing a public service by never, ever wearing a thong. Max must be confusing me with somebody else.
All right. I mean, I don't know what else you want to talk about today. I mean, we could do it like Ask Me Anything thing with the people in the chat, or I mean, we could talk about anything you want to talk about, space wise, or politics, or Earth stuff. Oh, and did you know that I think you guys got a special Earth holiday today?
Yes.
It's what is it? It's I think it's hold on. Let me see if I can find out what it is. The Earth holiday is National Buttermilk Biscuit Day.
Oh, it is.
Are you familiar with buttermilk biscuits?
I'm familiar with buttermilk biscuits. I never thought about it as being a holiday.
Yeah, I mean, it's amazing that there is a holiday for this. There's nothing quite like a flaky buttermilk biscuit paired with jam, honey, maple syrup, or butter to send your taste buds into overdrive. What better way to celebrate the long-standing Southern U.S. Earth tradition than by commemorating National Buttermilk Biscuit Day by baking up a mountainous pile of fresh homemade buttermilk biscuits?
Wow. I had buttermilk biscuits before. I usually like bacon, egg, and cheese in my biscuits.
Yeah, you guys got some great food on your planet, I gotta say. I mean, we basically, it's like pizza was kind of like it was the, what do they call that? The first food, where it kind of brings you toward all the other foods, because like all the different toppings have some of those other foods. So
Yeah.
like you got bacon. They put bacon on pizzas, and I was like, wait, what is this? And like, this is a whole other thing. And and so it made me start watching the all the food programs that you guys have on your planet, and your YouTube and Rumbulo databases that have those, like they show you how to make stuff. And I found buttermilk biscuits. Oh my goodness, that looks like a cloud of heaven.
Yes, it does. I'll tell you. Yeah, and there's a biscuit that I do like. It's from a seafood restaurant that may be going out of business, but I digress. But it's like a garlic cheese biscuit, and it is out of this world.
Are you talking about those? What was it? Red Lobster? The ones
Yes.
Red Lobster had?
Yes.
What do they call it? The Cheddar Bay biscuits, I think
delicious.
they call them. Yeah, they used to. I think they used to sell mixes where you could make those at home. And,
They still do.
And so yeah, so that would. I mean, that's a great combination too. Cheddar and anything, really.
Yeah, they're very easy to make. Just follow the directions, and is nearly indistinguishable from what you get at the restaurant. And you can always doctor it up to make a little slightly different flavor, or to differentiate. But I love it. I that's one of the things I tell the waiter or waitress to provide for us plenty when I'm with whomever I'm with eating at this place called Red Lobster, that I'm afraid may be going out of business. it's kind of sad because I enjoy their steak and I enjoy their lobster and fried shrimp. I enjoy their crab mushroom appetizers too.
Yeah, the seafood on your planet is weird. Some of it's delicious, but some of them are like scary. It's like I look at some of those and I'm like, wait, I know that guy from that planet, and then I'm like, I can't eat it,
Oh,
and I'm like, okay, like, well, I guess I have to pick and choose the things that I'm gonna consume from your planet because sometimes they remind me of people in the intergalactic community that you guys haven't met yet.
take no offense to what I will say, but there's a country on the planet Earth called Australia, and I've always made the
Uh-huh.
joke that there's life on in other worlds because people debated this whether there's life in other worlds or not. I said that I used to perceive life on other planets being very similar to some of the life that exists in this place called Australia. Are you
Yeah, I
familiar?
know. What those are the guys that have what they throw around those the what do they call them, boomerangs? I think that that's an amazing device, but I don't know how useful it would be. I mean, you throw it, it comes back. It usually tries to hit you in the head. I
Uh,
guess, you throw it and then like don't be in the place where you threw it when you're waiting for it to come back.
yeah, yeah, Australia, down in Australia. Boomerangs. There's also frisbees. Are you familiar with frisbees?
Frisbees. Oh, well, they're kind of like flying saucers. So yeah,
Yeah,
I'm familiar with the shape.
yeah. So yeah, just a lot of people. That's a lot of people's perceptions of what life is like in outer space. That the vehicle or the ship that they come in are going to look like frisbees. That's been like the most popular conception of it, as it's presented in television and in movies. So now, of all the planets, excuse me, of all we had this thing on television called science fiction, and you find them in television shows, you find them in movies. Um, any fictional settings on these TV shows or movies that kind of remind you of anyone you've encountered in this universe?
Well, I've watched some of those shows and movies, and I'd say probably Star Trek has it the closest to how stuff goes, except I mean, they focus on like the military style uh spaceship uh fleets, and in truth it's more it's set I'd say a little unfortunately it's a little more like the way Ferengi do business in a lot of the galaxy. It's not quite as crazy as the capital like insane capitalism like they portray on from those Ferengis, but it's close. There's a few differences though, and I could say, like for example, I know on your planet you guys don't yet have universal healthcare for your planet.
Not for the
We
planet.
have, not for the planet. I think some of your countries have it, um, but we have. Well, partly because I'm in the merchant skill, but also because the intergalactic community pretty much demands that we have access to universal health care. Well, I'd say intergalactic health care is what it's actually. Uh, and when I say access, I mean we go and they give us health care. I don't mean that wishy-washy way that some people on your planet say the word access. It's like I've seen it where you guys, some of you guys like go to get healthcare and then they send you a bill for like an insane amount. And I'm thinking, why would they do that? Why don't they want everybody to be healthy so that they can all be, good, healthy, productive workers for whatever business that you're working at? It's crazy.
Oh, I can answer that. Partly, some of it's based on greed, and some of it's based on bigotry. And either way, and some of it's based on greed and bigotry. So, and it's just not a good way to have a society here on Earth. And for those states or nations, as they're called, that have universal health care, I'm so glad that they taken the initiative to do it. But really, it should be guaranteed to everyone here on Earth, like it is um, in where you're from and everything. And I just don't understand why America's and a few other countries that don't have it. Why did they just decide to keep a bad thing going? But I'm with you on that. I just want to make that clear. I'm with you, and
Yeah,
I'm glad you have free health care.
Yeah, I was honestly, I was surprised. Because I had contracted, with Intergalactic Corp to basically be their pizza delivery hub for their system. They have like a merchant system that, where for those of you watching outside of planet Earth, IG channel 11 is where you can order pizzas from me. But we they wanted to guarantee that I had access to real healthcare, uh, being in this galaxy out here, and so they gave me access to some special medical facilities that well, one of them's on your moon, that which most of you don't know about, is on the dark side, and then there's a couple on hidden on other planets that you guys don't know about. um but once you become part of the basically the merchant association, they will make that available to everybody, and hopefully down the road you guys will get, planetary healthcare that will be worth a damn, and then they won't have to mess around with you guys having to figure out if you have to pay for like a roof over your head, or for healthcare, or for groceries. That's crazy that you guys have to juggle that on your planet like that.
Oh, I believe that. When I also think it was crazy from the very moment that concept hit my mind at a very young age. It's like, why don't we have healthcare? I mean, it's absolutely insane. And get this: in some cases here in the United States, the United States is the country I'm familiar with most because this is where I was born. Not only do we not have a universal healthcare system, even if you can afford a healthcare, guess what? You pay your bill. And then after you pay your bill, you go to your mailbox and you see a bill for that procedure you just paid for. And you have to go and contact your insurance company. These predatory institutions called insurance companies. And you have to argue
Oh,
with them.
insurance companies. Yeah, I
Yes.
know about insurance companies. Yeah, we usually, well, sometimes some of the merchants offer insurance on some of the products they sell, but they don't let people do the deductible thing that they do on your planet. I mean, that's criminal, is what that is. It's that you guys are already paying for the service, but then they're making you pay more, and then they
Yeah.
only pay for part of it. What is that? How are more people on your planet not furious about that arrangement?
Hey, you want to know something strange? There's a gentleman by the name of, I don't know if you ever heard of him, Luigi Mangione. And he how should I put it? Let me put it this way. Um, he expired someone.
Oh
And
wait, oh I know who you're talking about. The kid who's in jail right now allegedly for taking out a healthcare CEO. Yeah, that
yes,
kid didn't do it. We got so much surveillance footage. It doesn't even look like him, the guy who took him out.
well, that's
I
yeah,
mean, I
true.
can tell you that. Obviously, we can't use my testimony in court because, well, for one, I'm not from around here, and for two, um, well, it'd probably be bad for an extraterrestrial to try to testify in a case like that on this planet.
Well, they'll think you're being subversive to the population, and you know
Yeah.
how.
Oh, well, and I am.
Yeah.
I mean, it was like, I don't know if you guys have seen my show. Oh, by the way, I have a show. Did you guys know I have a show? Can you see the thing that says Chuck's Intergalactic UFO show? Yeah, it's a real thing. Um, you can find me on where the hell am I? On Earth Transmissions, what on YouTube, and Rumbulo, and then also if you guys do that social media thing, I'm on the Twitter. It's all search for Chuck UFO show and you'll find me.
Exactly. And I'm subscribed to Chuck's Intergalactic UFO show on all the platforms, and um, I urge each and every one of you to follow Chuck, and you won't be sorry. So when is your next show coming up?
That's a good question. I just had a show that came out a couple weeks ago with Space Lincoln. If you guys didn't have a
I
chance
saw
to
that.
check that out, that was a fun one to do. I think I'm not sure when the next one's gonna come out. The production budget on this show keeps getting bigger and bigger, but it means that I gotta spend a little more time with the scripting and then also locating some actors. Um, but yeah, hopefully soon. What is it? What is it on your Earth calendar? Is May? Uh,
Yes.
I'm hoping. I'm hoping. I don't know if I'm gonna have a show this month, but probably next month. I think June. For sure, I'll have another show. I'm still kind of working out what I want to do. It's like every show is just a little bit different. I sometimes it's like an episodic thriller, and other times it's just me shooting the breeze, and then occasionally they make me play video games. But if you guys got any ideas or suggestions, you can always contact me on the Twitter. That was it. What they call it, X. I'm not calling it that.
I didn't call it X
Uh,
either. I
Twitter,
refuse.
Twitter, and I'm a Chuck UFO show over there. Go ahead and follow me on there. I'm currently only following 42 people, and for those who know sci-fi, they will understand why. And until I get at least 42 followers, and then I'll start following some more of you back. So that's the deal that we got going on right now. And then the rest of you in the chat room, thanks for watching. I don't know what else we want to talk about. We should talk
Oh,
about.
I got a
Well,
question. I got a question for you.
yeah.
Are you familiar with a planet called Gallifrey?
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. That's actually that's hard to get to. It's we have spaceships with dimensional drives, and you have to configure them just right in order to shift between dimensions instead of just shifting between space and occasionally time. But and the time shifts are kind of wonky, so you never really know if you're gonna be able to jump that far ahead or behind. You never really get the exact coordinates down. But for Gallifrey, we can get to the planet, and it's it's kind of a pain to do. Is why I got my ship's computer to do that the hard calculations for me, but we can. It's just we never know which time we're going to end up in when we get there, and sometimes there's some mean people in orbit who don't like anybody. They say exterminate a lot,
Yes,
and
yes, you got to be careful because
yeah.
I understand there's a time war
So
going on.
so we try to steer clear of those guys for obvious reasons.
Yeah, we got people like
Because
we had people like those creatures that like to say exterminate, and I will use the word creatures, even though they used to be human, humanoid, shall I say? Um, here in this country, they go by the letters MAGA currently. They're called MAGAs, and they're terrible people. Oh, what happened?
no worries, that's just another one of Elmo's satellites. He's got
Oh,
enough.
yeah, Elmo. Yeah, I understand he runs Twitter down here too. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not so sure he's actually running it right now. I think he kind of took credit and then he kind of ran away and started doing some weird stuff with one of your government budgets or something. And I
Yes,
was like, what's
yes.
he doing? I was like, you guys. I mean, I didn't think I completely understood all the how the currency works on what is it? The country you're in, the United States,
United States.
but doesn't your government like they have a fiat currency over there? They pretty much can pay for anything that they need as long as the things exist, right? I'm
Yeah,
pretty
and
sure that's how that works.
yeah, and they don't know how they don't have any fiscal common sense. I wish they would adopt this thing called modern monetary theory, but that makes too much sense, so they won't. So
Yeah, I guess I I think it's just going to take some major event, whether it's a catastrophic one or some type of intervention, maybe an intergalactic intervention to really get people on board with, helping each other and, you know, not trying to take each other's stuff and, giving everybody health care and a roof over their head and not crying space communism every 5 minutes.
yeah, it's amazing how here in this country called the United States, some of these ideas are considered crazy, and in other societies, um, it's very mainstream to the point that this group of ideologues called conservatives are actually to the left of the people called liberals, liberal Democrats in the United States on some of these matters like healthcare. It's pretty sad what we got here. It's called an Overton window in the United States, and our Overton window is terrible. It veers hard to the right.
Yeah, yeah. You guys do. Oh, you guys do politics. You guys describe politics between the left and the right. Okay. Uh,
Yeah,
yeah, I guess that makes sense. Yeah,
and what's
we have like more dimensions that our space politics get into, and so it's not. It's always there's a front and a back and a top and a bottom and the diagonals, and it gets gets crazy, and that's why most of them decided that they weren't going to do it anymore.
well when it
They'd
comes
say,
to
you
the
know what, let's
politics.
just give people stuff.
Yeah, people need to realize that there's more to achieve in helping each other than it is where we're all divided, and we're divided by what is called culture wars. That these two horrible organizations called political parties, the duopoly, as I like to call it, they like to go and launch these culture wars at each other and divide the population. It's why we can't have nice stuff here.
Yeah, well, hopefully, there will be enough people on your planet that'll get pull their heads out of their keisters and and they'll figure out what they got to do. Oh, hey, there is one thing that the Intergalactic Corp likes me to do from time to time is they like me to dig up content from your own planet's civic defense and other public service things, and and I found this thing. Let me see, where is? Oh, here it is. Okay, public service announcement from your own planet. Okay. So you see whiskey, gasoline, don't mix them. I don't know if they mean that they don't want you adding gasoline to your whiskey beverage, or do they mean don't put whiskey into your gasoline powered engine? Which do you think it is, Willie?
Well, I mean, I don't know. I don't think I would be. I would never knowingly, or I would never mix gasoline and alcohol together and partake, because the gasoline part, good Lord, that would have killed me. I mean, yeah, I just don't think I could do that. I think that's basically what I guess that's what they mean. That's what they're implying.
Yeah, but you see how it could go either way. It could be, maybe someone can't afford to pay for the high price of your fuel, which is gasoline, and maybe whiskey's a little cheaper, and they pour that into the engine because it still works for some of those older engines.
Oh, okay, I see what you're saying. Well, they're going to try to find ways to bleed the consumers. This whole idea of, I mean, when this invention called the automobile came along, some of the early automobiles ran on electricity.
Yeah, I remember that. They shut that one down real fast. I remember, yeah, because there were like old pictures and stuff of like ladies like unplugging from a battery in their garage, and they would go off to their day, and they're like driving their little electric cars, and so cute cars too. I mean, these were, I don't know, what did you guys call them back then? Model A's or Model T type cars?
Yes,
but they had electric ones, and I don't know why they didn't keep making those, because they worked pretty well.
Well, I think that the various companies, oil companies, found a way to make money by making everybody dependent on on motor cars using gasoline instead of using electricity. And my thoughts were, why didn't they just go and invest in the idea and the concept of electric cars, and they would have been able to, I mean, there could have been a way out of this, but no, their greed clouded their judgments. And so, they're pretty evil, these oil companies, probably as evil as the insurance companies are. And most corporations are, because most corporations are pretty evil. So,
Yeah, I won't pass that on to Intergalactic Corp. I try to stay on their good graces when I can. But I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
Oh, it looks like you might have some revolutionaries in your live chat there. Kate's planning something, I could tell.
Yeah. Kate is a regular here. Very nice person. Gasoline, piss, copper shavings, iron shavings, fucking believable bonfire bombs.
Well, that's good to know, because you got to be resourceful, when you're starting your revolutions.
Yep. Yeah. And there's been revolutions. There's been revolutions around. I don't know if you've ever heard of a carnation revolution.
I've heard of carnation breakfast drink.
Yeah. Well, it was a country called Portugal. It was still an empire, dysfunctional empire. it was arguably the last fascist country in Europe by the 1970s. Not to the extent of Adolf Hitler or even Mussolini, but it was still an authoritarian nation. And people got tired, and the military got together, and they peacefully transformed the country from a fascist dictatorship into a democracy in less than 24 hours. It was nonviolent. Only 4 people died, and it happened on April 25th, 1974. And when the people realized that the authoritarianism is over, they were celebrating in the streets of Lisbon with red carnations like everywhere. People passing them out. The streets were filled with red carnations. There were red carnations all over the uniforms and the tanks of the military. And that's why it was called the Carnation Revolution. And I like to see myself being inspired by that revolution. I wish we could have something like a Carnation Revolution here.
What do you think it's going to take?
It's going to just. That's a very good question. Talking to people, trying to talk to people in ways where we can all get along and realize that we have more in common than we have differences, and the people on the top, they're the real enemy. You have to do it through this thing called class analysis. When there's a saying, when we all do better, we all do better, and that's what it comes down to.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah,
I know sometimes it's just you have the conversations with people and they think they know what it's gonna take, but it's like what's the actual catalyst? What's gonna make people want to be more open to those solutions? And it's like, do you need an asteroid to take out part of your planet? Do you need to have some massive economic disparity finally get to a point where people can't take it anymore? Yeah, Extra Bullet says, P bombs. Is that what it's going to take?
Yeah, it's a good question, because I'm a little over a half a century old. I'm what you call a 56-year-old 56-year-old human being, and the thing is that if I had the answer, I would, the definite answer, I would definitely share it with the world as much as I can, because I'm still looking for answers. So, and the only thing I can do is play my part, trying to have conversations with like-minded people, and in hope of having conversations with people that are not so like-minded, that we can reach to try to fix things for the better.
Yeah, I know. I think one time, it was quite a long time ago, we had there was like an intergalactic general strike that happened. It was incredible. There were so many people that were like, look, man, you're not giving us enough intergalactic credits in order to do all the stuff we want to do. And at that time, I don't even think everybody had full intergalactic healthcare. I think it was still in the outer reaches. They didn't quite have it yet. And I think once you get enough people to actually start caring about the well-being of others, I think maybe you can rally enough groups to start doing things together, to help each other out, until you can get your demands met,
In the 1800s, and this will involve Chicago, but it happened on May the 4th in Chicago. There was what was called a Haymarket massacre, but on May 1st, 1886, just a few days prior, about 100,000 people walked off their jobs on what was called a general strike for this thing called the 8-hour workday. And this, you know, a general strike is general strike is a way to try to solve these problems. I advocate a general strike today. A country called France has general strikes all the time, and it seems to work most of the time. So I think that we can learn a thing or two from the people of this country called France. But I celebrate a holiday every May. It's on May 1st, called International Labor Day. And sometimes it's called, but most people call it May Day. And it's one of my favorite holidays that I celebrate here on planet Earth. So do you have anything?
All right. So it sounds like you guys have made some attempts on your planet to try and make things better for the people. I guess it's just after a certain number of decades, people kind of fall into either a false sense of security, or they get distracted by life, and everything else just kind of feels like insurmountable. And then they don't know that everybody else feels the same way. Maybe it's just a matter of getting the word out and getting people to understand that it's better when people do all of this stuff together. Like you said, we all do better when we all do better.
Yeah, and we had a man here in the United States that tried to do this, but he ended up getting bought out. He's a gray-haired old man from the state of Vermont, and a lot of us who used to like him, we're pretty disappointed with how he kind of let us down over the years.
Oh, the maple syrup guy. What's his name? Bernie. Yeah. Yeah, we watched the transmissions of that. What year was that? The 2015, where whole bunch of people screwed him over, and he was supposed to be like the president of your planet or something, and then it didn't happen. That sucked. I was like, I think I was rooting for him at the time. It's like we watch these transmissions from your planet like it's like it's an episodic show, called Planet Earth, and that was one of those times where it's like I almost bashed every one of my video displays on the ship I was watching from, and that would have been very costly.
Yeah, as I said, I've heard of this maple syrup guy long before everybody else did, and how much of a letdown. You realize how much money that I spent on this person since the early 90s. I am a weird individual, by the way. I mean,
yeah, that's another weird thing is that we got intergalactic politics, but very, very few people actually donate to campaigns anymore. It's all like you call it publicly, but it's more like intergalactically public conglomerate funded campaigns. So basically, anybody who wants to run can run. And so you get like galactic sector senator for one area, and then you get maybe 10 candidates, and then it's fair. It's like they have like a voting system. It's all built into the communications hubs, and everybody who wants to vote can vote. It's actually works pretty well.
Yeah, there's the thing I advocate here in the United States that some countries use called ranked choice voting, and it does not. It will prevent you from choosing what people will call a lesser evil.
Oh, you're talking about the spoiler prevention algorithm. Yeah, we got that too.
Yeah, I like that system, and I wish this country called the United States would adopt it. They had it in a state called Alaska, but unfortunately they got rid of it. There was there was a man from a city called North Pole, a town called North Pole, and so a man became a mayor pro tem in that town, and he's proof that Santa Claus exists because he literally changed his name to Santa Claus. Have you ever heard of him?
Who, Santa Claus? Oh, you mean Nick? Yeah, he's actually not from your planet originally. And yeah, we deliver candy canes to that dude. Boy, does he order a lot of candy canes.
Yeah.
I think he must be a reseller, right?
Yeah.
It's like
well,
your planet, like, or is it he's just giving them out?
Legend has it that he gives it out yearly, and so it's something that we celebrate yearly called Christmas. And some people really got their hearts in it, and they do it with the whole Jesus thing. And some people, it's just a cultural thing, and it's just time to get together with family, friends, and for me, getting fat and drinking heavily, which I would do on a partly cloudy day. I get to do a little more of that around that time period. So
it's pretty cool.
Yeah. And people are usually in a good mood that time, so that's a positive, net positive, I guess you could say. So, I have to go to this thing called work in a little while. Do you have any final words?
Yeah, actually, I wanted to test out a new microphone for a second, if you'd indulge
me. Let me see if this thing's working here. How does this thing sound? Is it okay?
The voice sounds different, but I guess it sounds okay just the same.
Okay, that's good to know. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to use this mic anymore, though.
Oh,
all right. Yeah. So, I was thinking, maybe one time I'll have to have you as a guest on my show, and I don't know, maybe we'll play some video games, or we can talk about the how the intergalactic stuff works. When we're not talking about planet Earth, because wow, is your planet nuts? It's there's way too many Nazis on your planet. Did I say that already?
There's a lot of Nazis out there. Yeah.
yeah. I mean, this we actually get we get these updates through our merchant channels that say, look, you guys be careful out there. There's a lot of Nazis on that planet, and we're hoping that they stop shooting at the orbs that have been trying to warn them about that. But we're not quite sure what's going to happen, and so just keep yourself safe.
Some of these Nazis are happy.
Yeah.
Some of these Nazis are happy that there are people going to El Salvador into this horrible prison system that they have down there. So
yeah, I saw that. I mean, there's some not bright people running your countries right now, and I hope you guys will remedy that soon.
They're not exactly. There's a country that has a section that's occupied that kind of, in all effects, became a concentration camp of sorts. I won't go into too much detail because the algorithms will read what I'm saying, and they could get me in. I could get canceled. But this country is a half a world away, and their head of state, this prime minister, he's well, I'll just slang his first name, Ben. Ben is a terrible person, and he oppresses these people in this tiny little area.
You're talking about that Beadolf Zittler guy. Yeah, that guy's a jerk.
It starts with a G. The name starts with a G. I'll go with that. And the second part of the word is strip. So it's a lot of bad things going on over there. And and this country is enabling it. And I will go no further because, algorithms.
Well, I was very happy to be a guest on your show tonight, Willie. And like I said, when I have my next show set up for guests, hopefully you'll be the first one.
I'd be honored.
And then we'll have a heck of a time because we won't have to talk about the super serious stuff on your planet. Oh my God, it's so depressing sometimes to see all the things that you guys don't need to be doing right now. And you guys, once you get to that enlightenment stage, it's going to be so much better for you.
I agree, and I look forward to being on your program. So let me let me just talk to everyone here and let them know that I appreciate them being here too, and I have to go to work because I have this thing called work that I have to do every night or almost every night, and unfortunately, that's the way my life is. But I get to do this thing called retirement in less than 6 years, so I'm looking forward to retiring as soon as I can when I'm 62. And but until then, I have to do what I can to survive here in this society. So I want to thank everybody for showing up. And Chuck, I want to thank you for showing up here. And if you want to stick around for a minute when I finish with the theme song and all that, I can talk to you real quick. So before I go to work. So everyone, if you like what you heard, please press like and comment anyway. If you disagree with what I have to say, we'll have a conversation. Feel free to share the content I have on this channel. As a First Amendment absolutist, it's my duty to inform you to create your own platform and utilize it because we're the muckrakers of our time. Remember to reject corporate media and subscribe to all my channels on the various platforms I'm on. And until next time, I will say free Ed Snowden, free healthcare for all, free Palestine, and keep our speech free. Until next time, everybody, as I like to say the majority of the time, fuck Elon Musk. So here we go. Y'all take care. Y'all have a great day. See y'all next time.